By the time dessert came out, I had already been erased 3 times. Once when my sister Claire described her promotion and my mother said, "You've always been the driven one." Once when my father asked her about her 401 and never looked at me. And once when someone joked about how I finally found something stable with my little tech thing. It's strange how you can be almost 40 and still feel 12 at your own family table. I didn't correct them. I rarely do. For most of my life, Claire was the story. Straight A's, debate team, law school, engagement photos that got framed before the ink on her diploma dried. She had presence. She filled rooms. My parents responded to that like plants to sunlight. I learned early that I wasn't the sunlight. I was the kid who liked building things quietly, the one who stayed up coding instead of competing. When my first startup failed at 25, my dad told me, "Maybe you're just not built for risk." He didn't mean to be cruel. He meant to be practical. Claire never failed publicly. That was part of the myth. The business I run now started in a spare bedroom. 3 of us, then 8, then 20. We built infrastructure software most people will never see, but almost everyone uses indirectly. 2 months ago, we finalized an acquisition. After taxes and payouts, my share landed just over 12 million. I hadn't told them. Not because I wanted a moment like this, more because I didn't want one. It slipped out when my uncle asked half, joking if I was finally making lawyer money. I said, "I did okay. We sold last quarter." Claire smiled the way she does when she thinks she's being generous. That's great. For how much? There are numbers that don't register at first. 12 million is one of them. I said it the same way I might say the weather. She laughed. A reflex, then stopped. What? 12? I repeated. After everything, the fork hit her plate. Not dramatically, just hard enough. Mom blinked like she hadn't heard correctly. Dad leaned back as if physical distance might help him process. Claire's voice sharpened first. "That's not funny. I'm not joking. You're telling me you're worth 12 million? I'm saying that was my share." It wasn't rage right away. It was disbelief trying to find footing. Then something else crept in, something brittle. "That doesn't make sense," she said. "You barely talk about work. You're always vague." I didn't think it mattered. Mom started crying, not loudly, just small, confused tears. "Why wouldn't you tell us?" she asked as if this were a betrayal. That question surprised me more than anything. For years I had sat through comparisons. Claire's internships, Claire's salary, Claire's condo. No one had ever asked why I didn't volunteer my numbers. Claire pushed back from the table. "So what? You've just been sitting there pretending." "Pretending what?" "That you're average?" The word hung there. I felt something in me settle instead of flare. "I never said I was average. I said you did." Dad finally spoke. "How?" he asked. Just that. Not congratulations, not disbelief. How? It was the first practical question directed at me all evening. Not dismissive, not polite, curious. "We built enterprise logistics automation," I said, "scaled through mid-market. A private equity group acquired us in September." He nodded slowly. "Revenue 42 million last year." Claire cut in louder now. "This is insane. You never even asked for advice." It was such a revealing sentence. I almost smiled. Dad didn't look at her. He looked at me. "Are you staying on with the new owners for 18 months? Advisory role?" He nodded again, thinking, calculating, rebuilding the mental file he'd kept on me since childhood. The shift wasn't loud. It was structural. Claire's voice rose to fill the vacuum. "So now what? You're just the successful one." "I don't think it works like that." Mom wiped her face. "We would have supported you." I thought about the time I'd asked for a small loan after my first company failed and was told it might. Uncourage, irresponsibility. "You supported me," I said carefully, "just differently." Claire stood up fully now. "This is ridiculous. You let everyone think you were struggling. I wasn't struggling. You let me think I was ahead." There it was. Not anger about deception. Not pride for me. Just the collapse of ranking. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt tired. I wasn't competing, I said. Dad cleared his throat. What are you going to do with it? It was practical again, grounded. A question you ask someone you consider capable. Invest. Build something. Smaller. Take my time. He nodded once more. Approval without flourish. Claire let out a short, disbelieving laugh. So you just win quietly. I wasn't trying to win. The room had rearranged itself, not in volume, in gravity. My father's attention no longer defaulted to her. My mother's tears had slowed into contemplation. Claire stood alone in the intensity she'd created. No one clapped. No one apologized. Pi sat untouched. After a while, the conversation moved awkwardly.